This video is going to be on writing equations from words. So now you know how the skeleton equation written for you. So you have to write the chemicals involved, their formulas, and then write the reaction and balance it. We'll usually tell types of reactions we do this, but for right now, we'll just write them and balance them out. So a little bit tougher. First, you have to kind of read the stuff that's in there. So when heated, calcium carbonate decomposes to form. So when you see that to form or to produce or to make, that is always your arrow. So you're always looking for that part of it. So that part right there, when it says that, that is our arrow. So we have calcium carbonate on the left-hand side, making calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. The and is a plus sign. So two things are being made over there. So first thing, you have calcium carbonate. Don't forget to look up your charges to write formulas. So find calcium on the periodic table. Calcium is a +2 charge, meaning it's got 2 valence electrons. Carbonate on the polyatomic ions list at the bottom of your periodic table is a -2, so those are good. Decomposes to form, so that is my arrow. So that's kind of my equal sign. So things made on this side, we have calcium oxide. Calcium is a +2 charge. Oxygen's a -2 charge, so those are equaled out, so just CaO. And carbon dioxide, so that means plus carbon dioxide. So you need to know carbon dioxide means 1 carbon, dioxide means 2 oxygens. So that's the first part. Now we got to equal out all of our atoms on each side. We have 1 calcium over here in the reactants, 1 calcium being produced, 1 carbon being made, 3 oxygens. Notice there's an oxygen there plus 2 there, so there are 3 oxygens being produced. So this reaction is balanced. Okay, it is balanced. I'm going to skip down to number 4. Aluminum reacts with copper nitrate. So that's our reactants. Aluminum by itself, you don't have to do anything with. Okay. I should talk about the diatomic elements. So you need to make a list of these. Maybe circle these on your periodic table. There are 7 diatomic elements that occur as pairs. Hydrogen, and then starting with element number 7, which is nitrogen, they kind of form the shape of a 7. So nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Those 7 elements are diatomic. When they are by themselves, not in a compound, they always occur in pairs. So like there's oxygen in a compound, it's not a pair. When oxygen is by itself, it's always O2. So these elements, when they're by themselves, are always O2. They're the only 7 that are that way. Right here, you have aluminum by itself. It is not one of those, so it's just Al. Its charge doesn't matter. It actually has no charge when it's by itself. It only has a charge when it's in a compound. So we have aluminum reacts with copper. So when it says reacts with, that means plus copper 2 nitrate. Remember that 2 means copper is a +2 charge. Nitrate is a -1, and nitrate is NO3. So I got to go parentheses with the 2 outside. There's my copper 2 nitrate. To form, so that's my arrow. Aluminum nitrate, so I got to look up charges for that. Aluminum is a +3. Nitrate's still a -1, so aluminum with nitrate. +3 -1, so I got to triple that. And copper, so that means plus copper. Copper is not one of the diatomic elements, so it's just that. So here's the first thing. You got to look up charges, write the formulas. Now we're going to balance. So when we balance, I can put a coefficient out in front of there, 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 and there. But I can't change any of the subscripts. So we've got 1 aluminum in the reactants, 1 aluminum being produced, 1 copper, 1 copper. Do my NO3 as a group if I can. I have 2 NO3 groups and 3 NO3 groups. So whenever you have 2 and 3, we want to get them to 6. So I'm going to triple this one. Gives me 3 times 2, 6 NO3 groups. 3 times 2 gives me 6 NO3s. Well, that just changed my coppers to 3. And it changed my aluminums to 2. So 2, 3, 2, 3. Reactants have to equal products in a chemical reaction. Pick out another one here. I'll do these last 2. So we got manganese 2 iodide. So remember that means manganese is charged as a +2 because of the Roman numeral. That's manganese. Iodine, iodide just means iodine by itself, which is a -1. So flip your numbers, Mni2. Decomposes when exposed to light to form. So you don't have to put light in there, but to form manganese and iodine. So that means you have manganese by itself, which is not one of the diatomic elements, and iodine. So plus iodine. Iodine is one of the diatomic elements, so it has a 2 with it. Not because there's a 2 over here, but because it's one of the diatomics. If you look here, we have 1 manganese, 2 iodines, 2 iodines. That equation is balanced. Let's do one more. Actually, we might go up 1. Let's go. We'll do number 6 here. Iron by itself, so that's just Fe. Reacts with, so that's plus. Sulfuric acid, I do not give you acids very much, so don't be too concerned about them. But sulfuric is hydrogen with the sulfate ion, which is a +1 and a -2 charge, so H2SO4. To form, that's my arrow. Iron 2 sulfate, so iron's a +2 because of the Roman numeral, and sulfate's a -2. So Fe is iron, SO4, and hydrogen gas. So plus hydrogen gas. Hydrogen is one of those diatomic elements. When it's by itself, it is always a 2. By itself, always a 2. If we look here, you have 1 iron, 2 hydrogens, 1 SO4 group, 1 SO4 group. So that ended up being balanced. Otherwise, we'd put numbers out in front of here to equal those out. Pause for a second. All right, do one more here. A different sheet here. When a solution of calcium chloride reacts, the solution just means that is mixed in water, but the water is not part of the reaction. So don't worry about the word solution there. So we have calcium chloride. Calcium is a +2 charge, chlorine is a -1. So looking at your charge on the periodic table. Flip those around, so we need 2 chlorines. Reacts with, so that is plus, a solution of nickel 3 hydroxide. So nickel is a +3 charge because of the Roman numeral. Hydroxide on the bottom of your polyatomic ions list is in there. So nickel hydroxide +3 -1, I have to triple that. Calcium hydroxide forms in a solution of nickel chloride. So now it's going to be our products. So we have calcium hydroxide, which is a +2 -1. The charges don't change from one side of the equation to the other. Most reactions that we do. So forms calcium hydroxide. So notice that went from A3 to A2. People always think that can't happen. They can. This has 3 valence electrons. This only has 2 valence electrons. They don't combine the same way. And then you have nickel 3 chloride. Nickel and chlorine. +3 charge for nickel, -1 for chlorine. So we got to go NiCl3. So there's writing the reaction out. Now we got to balance. So I can put a coefficient there, and there, but I can't change any of the subscripts. Look at calciums. You got 1 calcium in the reactants, 1 calcium being produced, 2 chlorines there, 3 chlorines there. So whenever you have 2 and 3, we're trying to get them to 6. So we're going to triple this one to get that to 6 chlorines, and double this one to get it to 6 chlorines being produced. Now, if we look at our calciums now, that just tripled our calcium. So there's only 1 calcium here. Remember that 2's with that stuff. There's 1 calcium here, so let's triple that. 2 NIs, 2 NIs. Let's look at our OH groups. There was 3 OH groups, but we doubled it, so that's 6 OHs. Over here, there were 2 OH groups, but we tripled it, so that's 6 OHs. So the reaction is balanced. That's it. Have a great day.